Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello English language learners. In this lesson, we will explore the future perfect continuous tense for Indonesia native speakers, presented by Bandung Linguophile Learner. Please watch this video until the end. Subscribe to my channel and kindly activate your notification bell to receive new lessons and stay up to date. Agenda. Introduction. Future perfect continuous. Closing. Introduction. Part 1. Definition. The future perfect continuous or the future perfect progressive tense expresses the length of time an action will have continued by a specific point in the future before another action occurs in the future. In the future perfect continuous tense, verb forms like will have been are used. Will have been serves as an auxiliary verb, combining with the main verb in its present participle form. Sentence structure. We use two clauses, main clause and time clause. A time clause starting with by the time uses the simple present tense. In the main clause uses the future perfect continuous tense. For example, by the time we arrive in Indonesia, we will have been flying for 18 hours. Illustrate the future perfect continuous tense in the diagram. This is a timeline which illustrates the three main segments of time: past event, present event, and future event. In the future perfect continuous tense, for example, by the time we arrive in Indonesia, we will have been flying for 18 hours. In this timeline, the first action is we will have been flying for 18 hours, which needs to be completed before the second action. This sentence uses the future perfect continuous tense because it has will have been as the auxiliary verb. And flying as the main verb. Flying is the event in the progress for 18 hours in duration. The second action is by the time we arrive in Indonesia, which happens after the first action is completed. This sentence uses the simple present tense. So, in conclusion, by using the future perfect continuous tense, we show that the first action we will have been flying for 18 hours will be completed before the second action by the time we arrive in Indonesia. Another example, by the time you meet my sister, she will have been studying at her college for 4 years. By the time you meet my sister, she will have been studying at her college for 4 years. In this timeline, number 1, The first action is she will have been studying at her college for 4 years, which needs to be completed before the second action. This sentence uses the future perfect continuous tense because it has will have been as the auxiliary verbs and studying as the main verb. Studying is the event in progress for 4 years in duration. The second action is by the time you meet my sister, which happens after the first action is completed. This sentence uses the simple present tense. Formula: affirmative sentence. Subject plus will have been plus present participle. To make negative sentence, we put will plus not plus have been plus present participle. To make an interrogative sentence, we put will plus subject plus have been plus present participle and question mark. Affirmative sentences, for example, number 1. By the time you go to the embassy for your appointment, your application process will have been finishing. Number 2. By the presidential election time, we will have been voting for a new president. Number 3. By the end of next month, I will have been reviewing my spending account. Number 4. By the end of next month, I will have been learning English for a year. Negative sentences, for example, number 1. By the time we park the car, the rain will not have been pouring for an hour. Number 2. By the time the class is done, the teacher will not have been giving a new lesson for the past 30 minutes. Number 3. By the time I watch the horror movie tonight, you will not have been sleeping because we will be watching it together. Number 4. By the time you come home, I will not have been cooking. Interrogative sentences, for example, will your application process have been finishing by the time you go to the embassy for your appointment? Number 2. By the presidential election time, will we have been voting for a new president? Number 3. By the end of next month, will I have reviewed my spending account? Number 4. Will I have been learning English for a year by the end of next month? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like, and share. References. This page is intentional